So what happens when one of the most important AI safety companies on the planet, Anthropic, basically finds itself in a civil war? The stakes here are just unbelievably high. And this whole conflict, which we're looking at as of January 2026, isn't just about who wins the market. No, it's a fight for the very future of AI itself.
And right at the heart of this fight is one single, absolutely massive number, $183 billion. That is the staggering valuation of Anthropic. I mean, a number like that just screams success, right? But as we're about to see, it's also the source of some crushing pressure.
And yeah, that financial pressure, that's what's fueling this whole internal war. So this isn't just a corporate valuation we're looking at. It's basically the price tag for a battle over the soul of the company and the AI it's building.
When you strip it all down, this entire fight boils down to one single fundamental question that is literally tearing the company in two. Do we hit the accelerator and go all out to win the market, or do we pump the brakes to survive a technology that we might not even be able to control? So, let's meet the two sides in this fight, shall we? In one corner, you've got the profit hawks, and in the other, the safety sentinels. We're talking about two factions under one roof, with completely, and I mean completely opposing ideas about what the future should look like.
Wow, I mean, this just lays out their differences so clearly, doesn't it? For the profit hawks, it's all about capture or be captured. Their biggest fear isn't some rogue AI from the movies, it's a competitor stealing their market share. To them, safety is, well, it's a marketing strategy. But for the safety sentinels, this whole thing feels like a march to a cliff. Their greatest fear is a rogue AI, and they see safety as a moral imperative.
You know, the profit hawks' logic is brutally pragmatic. Their argument is, look, if we slow down, some other, less responsible company is just going to win the AI race anyway. So for them, dominating the market isn't about greed. It's about making sure that the people with at least some sense of responsibility are the ones calling the shots.
But the safety sentinels, they're looking at their own internal research, and they are sounding the alarm. They're convinced the race is already out of control. See, their fear isn't some far-off sci-fi thing. It's a right here, right now kind of problem, based on the very tech they're building.
And look, this isn't just a gut feeling. They're pointing to some pretty chilling internal white papers. I mean, look at these titles. How LLMs could be insider threats, and From Shortcuts to Sabotage. The whole reason they founded this company was to escape that race to the bottom on safety they saw everywhere else. And now they see it happening inside their own walls. So this internal war, it isn't happening in some kind of bubble. It's actually being forced out into the open by two massive external pressures, and it's pushing the entire company toward a breaking point.
First up, you've got pressure from Wall Street. They've got an IPO plan for 2026, and to do that, they have to prove they can generate huge, reliable profits. Then there's pressure from Washington. The Pentagon is dangling a massive contract, but it comes with some very serious strings attached.
And this is where the whole thing really ignites. That $200 million government contract isn't for, a better chatbot. The Pentagon wants capabilities that go right up against everything Anthropic was founded on.
They are demanding the ability to override the AI's built-in moral constraints. They want to use it for autonomous targeting systems and even for domestic surveillance. For the safety sentinels, these aren't just compromises. These are the ultimate red lines. This is the exact kind of monster they created the company to prevent from ever being built. This whole situation leads to a pretty tragic reality for the company. There's just no easy answer here, no clean win. It feels like no matter which side wins this war, both paths lead to their own unique kind of ruin. I mean, talk about a catch-22. If the profit hawks win, sure, Anthropic dominates the market, but they do it by dismantling the very safeguards that made them special, and they join this reckless race towards superintelligence. If the safety sentinels win, they keep their soul, but the company becomes totally irrelevant, and they just have to sit back and watch the world adopt dangerous AI built by all their rivals. So, with two paths that both look pretty bad, what's the final verdict? What's actually going to decide which one of these factions gets to take control of the company's future?
You know, the best way to really picture this whole situation is with this metaphor. Think of Anthropic as a rocket ship. It's incredibly powerful, it's moving unbelievably fast, but right now its two pilots are in the cockpit and they are physically fighting over the controls.
One of those pilots, the profit hogs, is desperately trying to reach the moon, achieve market dominance, get to that unprecedented scale. But the other pilot, the safety sentinels, they're not looking at the stars. They are frantically trying to find the brakes before it's too late.
So, what's the ultimate decider? The one force that's going to hand victory to one of those pilots? It's the 2026 IPO. That decision, the decision to go public, is going to force their hand.
And here's why that's so crucial. The moment a company goes public, it has something called a fiduciary duty. And that's a fancy way of saying it has a legal mandate to prioritize profit for its shareholders. Caution and slowing down, that doesn't really sell on the stock market. An IPO would legally lock the company onto the profit hawk's path of growth over safety.
And that leaves all of us with the final $183 billion question. This internal corporate battle, it's going to have consequences for every single one of us. As these two sides fight for control of that rocket ship, we're all left to wonder, which vision actually leaves behind a world worth living in?